Alright, good morning everyone. Let me make sure my stream's actually up and healthy here. Alright, cool. We're back with a public stream. I know it's been a little bit, but here we are. CPI releasing in 8 minutes. We're gonna wait to see the destruction that takes place with that, the manipulation, and we're gonna wait and see if we can outline any setups with any high degree of high probability. About 30 minutes after the CPI release. Good morning, Mike. So we're kind of just gonna chill out here until the release comes. I'm not gonna go ahead and say I know exactly where this release is gonna do, because really no one actually knows what the CPI release is gonna do. Now, admittedly, I barely slept last night. Got about an hour and a half of sleep, but we are here. I got my Red Bull beside. No, I'm kidding. I don't drink that bullshit. But got my water. So I'm just looking to see what we do at this opening price here after the CPI release. I just need to see that initial manipulation, obviously, and then I need to wait at least 30 more minutes just to let all the initial excitement kind of dull away, and wait until just let that initial opening segment get left in place, because I mean everyone here's like trying to get on the huge move. They're trying to get positions in on a gamble and hoping they'll get lucky. This is gonna be the one. This is gonna be the trade that changes my life. I know I blew my account the past 10 times I gambled CPI, but this time I'm gonna get that magical, very unrealistic returns. I don't know. It's people, man. So I wanna start like outlining things here and annotating price, but obviously I simply just have to wait till after that CPI release takes place. Now, if you refer back to CPIs in the past, I mean, literally it just opens right up at 8:30, and then in like 2 seconds, boom, moves hundreds of points to the upside or downside just in one straight shot. Actually though, if we do go to the daily time frame quick, I just want to show you. So prior to what we saw yesterday at Tuesday, I was preferring to see if we can trade below the opening just a little bit, and then continue higher. But we haven't done that. We actually traded back down to new week opening gap, that Sunday opening, after trading into this sell side of balance, buy side inefficiency right here. Boom. And now we've created this swing high here. So I'm not saying which direction, but that to me does show some weakness here. Broke this intermittent term low here, and then we treated this as a virgin. And then we are gonna have sell stops resting below these three lows here. And then same for NASDAQ. So see how we kind of just neglected all the discount arrays. We didn't respect this BISI. We shift below this low here. Looked up. And now it's Wednesday. We're going to have sell stops stacked below these lows here. Previous week's low. Daily range retraced up to the 62%. Respected this balanced price range right here. Created that swing high. And then with those swing low, there'll be sell stops. Now, I could be completely, keep in mind, I could be completely wrong, and it could just open up at 8:30 and just, slam higher. That's why we don't trade ahead of it, because no one actually knows what's going to happen. I mean, if they're saying that, then, obviously they're full of shit, but anyways. One more minute to the opening here. If you just have to have a position, you just throw a contract in with a paper trade or something, but, if you're risking live funds, you're just a dumbass. Cisco Frias, good morning. Okay, there we go. There's that CPI release. Just look at that. I literally blinked my eyes and missed that initial move. So it wicks up here above that opening price. Took the sell side. I'm looking at these lows here with the previous week's low, like I said, ahead of time. And then see if NASDAQ did not take out that high. Alright, so those lows I mentioned ahead of time. Keyword ahead of time. Alright, yeah, so no SMT there. Let me see if DXY made a lower low. Okay, alright. No SMT, which is fine. Alright, boom. This low just swept here. I want to see it get below this low too. Alright, so the very soft bias I had played out at the opening here. Just need to see it get below this low, obviously. That doesn't really mean anything though, because I easily could have been wrong. I just so happened to be right for the CPI here, but anyways, actually, before I keep going, we have 32 viewers and 3 likes, so I'd appreciate it if we can run up that like button a little bit. Thank you guys. Anyways, entering this balanced price range, you want to see it shred through that. So this balanced price range here. So the thing with balanced price ranges is this right here. As soon as it gets to the low end of a balanced price range, that automatically is tipping my hand saying it wants to go lower, and it shows weakness. on most normal days. I mean, obviously it's CPI. I know I said it so many times, but it's CPI. I want to see if CPI swept this Friday low though on NASDAQ. Okay, yeah, we did. Nice. Keying off of this hourly imbalance there. Boom. But yeah, I mean, literally, let's see. I've seen a lot more aggressive CPIs, way more aggressive than this one here, but so 4518. So this is the balance price range over here once again, if you're wondering what this shaded area is. Notice how it accumulated these shorts, these initial shorts at 8:30 above the midnight opening here. Continuously offered it above the opening price and right around new day opening gap here. Alright, boom. So we're almost completely filling in this entire initial 1 minute imbalance that was created at 8:30. Now, the impatient noob speculator would be like, oh, well, look at that. It's a nice little retracement there. That's a short. No. I mean, yeah, it could play out. I mean, technically it could play out. I mean, yeah, true. But, I mean, if you want to put your live funds at risk with a very low probability trade like this, I mean, be my guest, but I'm not going to do it. So notice this entire wick here clearing that sell side. The body is now around midpoint of this order block here. Also take a look at this breaker here. So we respected all of the premium arrays here and we're disrespecting discount arrays. That to me is kind of just the algorithm literally just pointing its finger lower towards previous week's low. But anyways, this is a breaker on the 15-minute time frame. I don't want to see us get above this breaker. It's okay if it sweeps this buy side. Anything can happen. But in terms of me wanting price to go even lower towards previous week's low, I don't want to see it go above this 15-minute breaker here. And if it does, it can poke just a little bit above it, but it needs to wick off right away. So that to me is what I'm looking at. Okay, notice I'm not, all excited and aggressively looking at the lower time frames, and I'm like, oh, where's the setup? Where's the setup? I know it's gonna take until at least 9 o'clock, if not the 9:30 opening, for something high probability to set up here. So anyone that chased this move lower, went short here, No, they're probably getting taken out right now and regretting being impatient. So it looks like we may want to have a sweep on these highs. I'm going to go ahead and note the balance price range for NASDAQ as well here. So this would be a discount balance price range. Now here's the thing. Do we close? Do the bodies stay intact at the upper portion of this balance price range? This wick doesn't matter. Just looking at the bodies. Does that stay intact? And do we get displacement higher and disrespect premium arrays? Or do we continue to respect PD arrays here and get displacement to the downside at the optimal time of day? That to me is what I'm considering for a setup this morning. Notice how I didn't just say like all these different moving parts and I need this, that. No, like it doesn't always have to be complicated. Sometimes a simple model is all you need. Can we get to 20 likes maybe? Is that too much to ask for? Probably, but alright, so we got about to the, not the midpoint, but that lower quadrant of this initial, oh yeah, I did that wrong. We got to the lower 25% of this 830 wick here on the 1 minute time frame. So this red line right here, see that? See the sensitivity around there? This wick right here is looked at as a gap. And this wick would be important because it's in the wick that was created at 8:30. So that's why I'll be considering the 25%, the midpoint, and the 75%. Premium and discount arrays, all of them. Some of them are more important than others depending on the time of day they were formed. So keep that in mind. So we returned up into this 5 minute imbalance. And then we had this breaker here on the 5 minute time frame. But I'm not going to be really looking at that just because of the CPI. But yeah, not too much to commentate on yet. Obviously, nothing high probability poking out to me yet. Just a waiting game. Trading wasn't as fun as they tried to sell you, is it? You get into a live stream like this, you're like, damn, it's kind of boring. Yes. Let's see how we act within, I don't know what the hell that is. So let's see if we treat this implied fair value gap inversely. So midpoint of this wick right here and the midpoint of this wick, you take the middle portion that creates. You guys saw on Twitter, I publicly posted it after I outlined it to my private YouTube members here, real time. You guys saw me use this implied fair value gap inversely to frame a PM session trade. Very beautiful. So see how we bumped up to the high of that twice. Let me see if Dow was able to get above those highs there. No, sir. So I guess it would be preferred if one of the averages came up and tagged buy side here, but alright, so boom, respecting that implied fair value gap. Trades up to it 3 times. Trades off. Intermittent term high here formed at premium arrays. So taking Tuesday's PM session high to the low. See how it dips into a premium multiple times, but before the 8:30 news, this was the range. So and then taking the entire daily range, you see right at equilibrium, and then in premium inefficiency, premium balance price range, and then that breaker. And now I'm looking to see if we can get discount previous week low. Now I don't have to be right about us going for previous week's low in order to be profitable. Obviously, if something happens differently, then I can switch my bias. Definitely one of the biggest hindrances to my trading early on was marrying a bias and not willing to adapt and change to new order flow. I would always just stick with my one bias and just be stubborn and not ever adjusting anything or changing it. And I lost out on a lot of money as a result of that. Alright, so now I'm looking to see, do we get back up to it, respect it, or do we get above it and treat it as support? Right now, obviously, it came back up, tagged the midpoint. Whoops. Came up, tagged the midpoint. Look at the precision there. Right at that midpoint, boom. So obviously you can see I'm not just putting random levels on my chart here. It's something that these algorithms are actually referring to. Got to the low end of this initial opening range, or not opening range, but CPI release imbalance. So yeah, just look at the 5-minute time frame. Very low probability chop. So I think what might be taking place here is we might have to wait till the 9:30 opening for something to set up here. So obviously that's not for another 40 minutes, so we'll be here for a good while, which, I mean, I'm okay with that. But yeah, once again, this implied for VGAP, it's simply just this wick here, take the midpoint of that, and then this wick here, take the midpoint of that, and then the middle portion that leaves open, that's the range that you extend out. Alright, finally some significant move here. So, taking this entire range here, you can see we worked that in here. Traded back into it. Lower quadrant of that. Just got above this implied for VGAP, so I want to see us come up, treat this as support, and then potentially run the buy side up here. And yeah, I think that's what's going to be taking place here in the short term. So these highs here above opening price, and then with this 15-minute volume imbalance as well. So I'm actually going to go ahead and note that, because so it'd be preferred if at least one of the averages came up and swept the highs here. At least one of them. But it doesn't have to happen, obviously. Alright, boom. So watch this imbalance that was just formed here. And this implied for VGAP here. So watch what it does once if it retraces back down into here. See if it uses that to pump up into the buy side. See how it opens here, wick to the very high of this implied for VGAP, and propels higher. See that? So honestly, if it wicked down into this buy side imbalance, sell side inefficiency, I wouldn't be mad if someone was watching my stream and throwing a contract there. But obviously, it didn't retrace down into there, and then you'd be exiting above the highs up here. All right, so we're in that first AM session macro here. We just entered 850. And here's the macro right on timing. Already gravitating towards the highs. Alright, real quick, I should probably see if my stream's still up. YouTube likes to take them down. Can I make my PC sharp and clear to see? I think it already is, but if it's not looking, it's looking good on my end. Honestly, it's in HD, but if you're having issues with quality, go ahead and go to settings, hit quality, and then do higher picture quality, or hit advanced and then hit the highest resolution. So that's what I'm on right now. It's on HD. So yeah, just switch your settings to HD and it should look as good as it looks on my screen. Alright, so buy side up here. Right at that macro. So if it was able to wick down into this BISI, I could have thrown in only one contract and then exited up here, but obviously it didn't give us to that. It just opened on this 1 minute candle here and wicked right down to the high of this implied fair value gap. Let me see if NQ is able to get up there. So I got about this high. Almost at the midpoint of this wick here. Alright, so NASDAQ actually was able to get down to that BISI. So you could have thrown in one contract. And NQ you could be targeting midpoint of this wick here. Or the high. So let me actually go to dollar index quick, just because, I mean, there's nothing too great happening right here on the averages. Alright, so DXY swept the high here. New week opening gap traded into this volume imbalance. So yeah, it's one of those tricky moments. Looks like the dollar index wants to go lower as well. Swept previous day's high here. And there's going to be sell stops below here and here. So that's what I'm looking at for dollar index. So stream buffering. Is it still not working here? Okay, no, it looks like we're back. Damn, YouTube just does not want to see me win. This never happens in my private live streams. Only when I go public. It's wild. Alright, so buy side swept. Now that we've done that, what we do now is very important. Right up here. So I can take this off. See if NASDAQ was able to sweep that as well. Nope. NASDAQ failing to actually take out the highs here. So potential SMT divergence. Let's check and see if Dow did. Dow indeed did. Or did it? Did it? Nope, it actually was not able to get up there. Yet. Alright, so significant buy stops swept. Now, what we do is very important once again. Back into a premium here relative to yesterday's range. Up here. Everything good? We cool? Everything working? YouTube's not trying to keep me from outlining beautiful CPI setups here. Five more likes when we hit that beautiful 20 lake mile marker. Good no? Okay. Thanks. Appreciate you guys. And Venom, I appreciate you text me on Twitter there, because I would not have known that my stream was down unless you did that. So you're always appreciated. This morning I saw ICT post about, apparently they found, what was it? They found alien corpses, quote unquote, in Mexico, and people getting riled up about that, and they'll put their little fucking eyeballs and be like, that's what they don't want you to know. Look, I'm all for, like, conspiracies and shit, and I believe, like, I know the government's corrupt. I know there's some weird shit going on that we don't know about. But at the end of the day, like, I mean, most of the shit is bullshit that you see, like, on Twitter and stuff. Like, I don't know. Just guys like me who think outside the box and don't believe everything that they're told from the government, they just they tend to believe every single thing that they see just because they think like that. And I'm not like that. I know how to. I have a good balance between, yeah, this is true. Okay, I believe in this conspiracy, and this absolutely could be true, and they're definitely hiding this from us, and they're definitely doing this that we don't know about. But I can also see something and be like, okay, like, all right, come on, like, that's bullshit. Like, I don't know. Anyway, I just thought that was funny this morning. It just using social media as a tool. It's just so easy to get people. It's so easy to get people riled up. It's so easy. And I guess that's kind of scary, but yeah. Social media is no longer entertainment like it was when it first came up, coming up in the early 2010s. It's now used as a tool for fear, manipulation, and all the above. Alright, so I want to see what we do once we retrace back up into this hourly imbalance here. That's pink shaded area. And then this volume imbalance right here. Let me see if NQ is still failing to take out the highs. Yes, it is. So we have a potential SMT divergence forming here. So I'm not completely sold that we're done going higher yet. I need to see some meaningful displacement here off of this volume imbalance and this 1 minute for value gap, and this pink shaded area here, which is that hourly CB. Alright, so we're respecting that. Beautiful. I'm going to take this way. You want to see it completely neglect this 5 minute gap here. Same with NQ if there is one. Yeah, there is. You want to see it neglect that. Go below. So with these two up close candles, that's one order block here. 8 minute term high. Same with NQ. So let's wait and see if we can get down to midpoint of this imbalance here. Unless if it neglects this 5 minute gap. If it doesn't do that and it supports it here, then we could probably be seeing a continuation. Just got in. What did you miss? Not shit. You did not miss anything, I promise. Looks like we may have to wait for the 9:30 opening here. So if we get meaningful displacement here and neglect that 5-minute gap I mentioned, that to me would give me a good idea that we want to go lower now that we cleared buy side. But like I said, I'm not convinced of that right now. Maybe NASDAQ might want to come up and reach for those highs. Yeah. So, keying off this 5-minute gap right here. So yeah, not too crazy of a CPI here, honestly. Not too crazy of a range here. So yeah, I'm looking at this here and see how we instantly wicked off this Friday low. And then the body's respecting this balanced price range. And there's my dog barking there. Good morning, Bronson. Good to have you here. Hi, Drew. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. NQ has clean targets visible, equal highs. Might want to clear those at 9:30. Yeah, I agree. If not, though, I want to see if we get some type of SMT divergence here. At how ES cleared the high here above midnight here. But yeah, it looks like we might not be done here, but we'll have to wait and see for 9:30. But yes, look what he said there. Still nothing obvious. That's important because so many guys just want to come in here and force themselves to see a setup when, I mean, there's nothing there. Patience, my friend, patience. Alright, so we just created this swing low here, and then we made that lower swing low here, and we're creating another swing low here. So that to me is showing that we might want to be keying higher off of this 5-minute imbalance into the highs. So we see that. So you're looking at in other words, you're looking at the imbalance on the higher time frame, the 5-minute. Then you go down to the lowest time frame here, and you look at the fractal market structure. Obviously, it's not a setup. It's just what price is giving me right now, but take a look at the Dow, or not the Dow, the dollar index. So yeah, to me, the dollar index right now is kind of 50-50, so I don't really want to touch too much on, I mean, to just look at the range that we're in here. So whenever we have things like that, whenever the dollar index isn't clean and isn't real high probability on the higher time frames, I kind of just leave it alone and just don't really consider it too much for the day, and I just stay on the averages. But yeah, I'd say just give it 20 more minutes, wait until that 9:30 opening. If nothing sets up, But after 9:50 to 10:10, then we may just have to pack it up for the day and come back tomorrow. But I'm hoping that's not the case. I want to outline some setups here for you guys real time. By the way, if you're wondering what these two lines are, that's just new week opening gap. You see how we got above that and respected that there. So right now I'm looking at midpoint of this wick. We reach that on the 15-minute time frame. So going back to the daily time frame, to me it's still obviously right now there's nothing with high probability in the lower time frames, but to me it still looks like it wants to come down from previous week's low, especially since we created this swing high at this imbalance here after sweeping the stops up here. But I am willing to switch my bias, believe it or not. I'm not marrying one bias. Had to learn not to do that the hard way a while back. Alright, midpoint of this 5-minute wick as well. Watch that. Now going to 9:30, I want to see if we can get real aggressive displacement to the downside. Nasdaq's still not giving up the ghost, but once again, 9:30 opening yet to happen. We're still above that midnight opening price. See how many times we continuously offered it above opening price here? Once, twice, 3 times. So if the algorithm wants to go lower into the day, every single time they significantly trade above midnight opening price, that's them accumulating short orders into the marketplace to then distribute them lower. Alright, so still failing to take out this high. I want to see us get aggressive displacement below the swing low. This is also a breaker. This down close candle. Low, high, get below it. This down close candle, that would be the breaker. Whoops. Now once again, I'm favoring lower prices for the whole day here. Well, I shouldn't say the whole day, but I'm favoring lower prices. The only thing that's going to change that is if we get above this break, a 15-minute breaker here. So if that doesn't happen, then I'll be looking at shorts, obviously. Duke, you can do that, but yeah, I don't mark out the 6 p.m. open. I simply just don't need it. Alright, so boom. Wicking up into the breaker here that I told you about, obviously. So SMT stayed intact. We just created this intermittent term high after sweeping buy side and repricing into the premium raise here. Now let's see if we close here, retrace up into this imbalance with the breaker. And that, to me, I would see if that we would be able to key off that and then go lower into the midpoint of this 15-minute wick. So if it retraces back up to here, I think that'd be a reasonable short, especially since we just neglected this 5-minute gap here and displaced below this 5-minute swing low here. So if I don't get small entries on the, or higher entries on the 1-minute time frame, so if it would have wicked up in here, that would have been an entry. Anytime it goes without me, I have to demand a 5-minute entry and sometimes even a 15. All right, so for the continuation lower, you want to mark this out. You don't want to see it hang around here and respect it and trade off it. You want to see it get rushed down through it and trade back up and treat it inversely. Come on, guys, come on. 45 viewers, 25 likes. Come on, let's run them up. Alright, so neglected the 5-minute gap. Small little retracer into this 1 minute imbalance. See if it wants to key off of that. Take our initial range here. Still in a premium. So to me, I want to see if I can get some type of 5-minute entry closer after that 9:30 opening, preferably. And in a perfect world, I will get a nice setup to the downside at 9:50 to 10:10. That first macro after the 9:30 opening. So watch what we do with this 1 minute imbalance here and the high of this busy here. I like how we created this in-minute term high though at the premium raise, and then NASDAQ failed to take out the high here. I like that. Ooh, I don't know. I might have to go grab a cup of coffee here, but I don't want to leave my desk. I'm a chart junkie. So there's a reason why I didn't short this small imbalance here. Obviously, it can play out. I'm not doubting that it can, but the reason I didn't take that is because it's still prior to 9:30 opening. Now, if it wicked up here, wicked up into the breaker and imbalance here, I would have taken this right here. Boom, I'm in that. Oh shit, okay. I just looked over at my phone and I see a tweet from ICT himself. I just look over and it says, "Guy makes an account today to talk shit. Come at me with your real account, pussy." Damn. I know what he's talking about. That's funny though. Alright, so keying off this 1 minute imbalance and the high here, along with this tiny little volume imbalance. See how we're respecting that so far. Alright, finally. 10 more minutes until that 9:30 opening. Dude, I don't even care. He's his own man. He can do whatever the fuck he wants. Obviously, I'm not gonna go on Twitter and tweet shit like that, because, I mean, that's just, I don't know, just kind of corny, but, I mean, especially if you're 50 years old. But anyways, at the end of the day, he's his own man. He can do what he wants, but, yeah, I just thought it was funny. Gave me a laugh. So guys, I'm not normally on days like CPI and whatnot after the 9:30 opening, I usually stay until around lunchtime, and I would say at minimum, I always outline at least 2 different setups with days like CPI and whatnot. That's not gonna be the case today. Today, I'm gonna be outlining one setup only. I mean, obviously no idea is 100%, but as soon as I outline one high probability setup for you guys, I'm gonna go ahead and just close up shop here, because I just need to go to sleep. Alright, so returning into this breaker here. Right here. There we go. Had trouble toggling the low there. So I'm just gonna out this line here. It's just gonna be the midpoint. Almost got it. Come on. There we go. They're probably like, what the fuck? This guy's supposed to be a full-time trader and he can barely even draw lines. Okay, so imbalance with the breaker. I want to see if you respect that or not. NASDAQ kind of already trading up a little too high, so. So yeah, maybe one of you sweeping the highs here at the 9:30 opening, like Hydra said here. So yeah, now that we neglected this breaker and NASDAQ and the imbalance, I would say we're gonna come up and sweep the buy side, and that'll set the stage for the 9:30 opening here. So I can go ahead and take these lines off. So see, I got to the upper 75% portion of this imbalance and the midpoint here. And look at the bodies around the upper 75%. So I guess we call that the, what do we call it? The anatomy of the fair value gap. Five more minutes till the 9:30 opening. Gonna be waiting for that. There we go. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and pull up my other screen and just stay on ES here. I don't want to keep flipping back and forth. So I'm gonna pull up NASDAQ on my other screen here. Alright, so NASDAQ just shifted above that high, this high right here. So yeah, NASDAQ's gonna come and sweep those highs there. Yeah, I'll be honest though, so far not looking like the greatest CPI, post-CPI here. It's usually not the case. Normally there is some good setups afterwards. More specifically the 850 to 1010. Which, I mean, it actually did play out, the 850 to 1010 to the buy side here. Notice it cleared buy side on ES within 850 to 1010. Not random. So yeah, honestly, the fact that we swept buy side already and we're already kind of, coming back up and keeping this intermittent low intact, that to me is kind of a red flag for shorts here. So I'm thinking maybe at the 9:30 opener we're gonna wick down here and then go for the highs. I think that might be what is gonna take place here. Watch that 1 minute imbalance on NASDAQ that we're trading into right now. Okay, yeah, that 1 minute imbalance traded to on NASDAQ right now. Fuck it, I'll just flip there quick. Just for the visuals. This right here. See if it uses that to then go up and sweep the buy side. Two more minutes till 9:30. 2 more minutes. So we're now entering that opening range. And like I said, if we don't get anything by at least 10:30, then I think it'd be best to just close up shop and come back for tomorrow. I'm going to bring your attention to, it's about to be that 9:30 opening here. I'm going to bring your attention to this inversion gap. And then also, yes, breakers can be used as inversion. That would just simply be an order block, obviously. So once you get it back above the breaker. By the way, just because a breaker's disrespected one, or like a premium discount rate is disrespected once, doesn't mean once it comes back to it, it's not important, because it is. All right, so 9:30 opening. I want to see if we can wick down here and then go up to the buy side. So I'm actually gonna go down to this inversion gap just because it's synced up with the breaker here. So see if it uses this to go to the buy side. Let's see what NQ is doing. All right, yeah. So see that imbalance there with the inversion. Nah, I hate being that guy. It's like, oh yeah, look, see, I told you this was gonna happen. But to be fair, I did say at the 9:30 opening, I think we're gonna wick down here and then go to the buy side. To be fair. All right, boom. So buy side cleared. Now, do we respect this with a body, or do we get above it and treat it as support? Alright, so exactly what I wanted to see here at the 9:30 opening. Now, once again, watch this breaker. I said if we get above that, that neglects me wanting to go lower, and we did just get to the high end of that. So we might be switching biases here. And then my eyes would immediately jump to Tuesday's high. And this 15-minute imbalance. See if we can get up into there. Three more legs. We got 30 legs, guys. Is that too much to ask? Okay, so we're, yeah, about the 62% retracement here. So we got above the breaker. Now my attention's jumping to here in Tuesday's high. Beautiful respect to this 5-minute order block though at the 9:30 opening. Take a look at this small little hourly gap we just traded to. And then the 15-minute. And not quite to this order block here, so I'm going to erase that. So unless we completely just collapse here and show respect to the premium with the bodies, I want to see if we can just wait for the opening range to be set in place. There you go. That's all that needs to be said. So very aggressive wick off there. Check the 4 hour. So we traded up into that 4 hour imbalance. And then these up close candles here. This would be one order block. So ideally, I want to see us close within this breaker here. That's what I would want to see. Now, if you're wondering, am I going to long any of these inefficiencies? The answer is no. I'm not going to be chasing price. That's like, this would be like the picture perfect rookie buy right after the 9:30 opening. They're like, oh shit, 9:30 opening. Look at that. Look at that strong 9:30 up move. Let me get on that. Let me hop on the train quick. Now, don't get me wrong. Those type of mentalities and whatnot. I mean, those type of trades they pan out sometimes, but not consistently. Or yeah, you're not gonna be profitable trading like that. That's all I can say. Look how we sat on the top of this balanced price range here. The bodies and the wicks, see that? We just got up to that premium 15-minute imbalance I outlined. Yeah, I mean, Duke, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not, talking shit to whoever does that. I mean, I think we've all been there in our beginning stages of trading. Even experienced traders, or ones who have been trading for almost 4 years now, like myself, like we still have bad trades too. Like, damn, I probably shouldn't have taken that trade. Like, that's the reality. I know Twitter and social media guys, they have 100% strike rates, but sarcasm. But let's see if we can get aggressive displacement to the very low end of this imbalance, below the swing low. We check Dow. Let's see what Dow's up to. Nothing good. That is for sure. Look how ugly and hideous Dow is. Yikes. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be returning to this chart at all today. So I want to see aggressive displacement lower right now. If not, then we'll probably just keep grinding higher, and I'll just have to let it go and come back tomorrow, and there's no setup. Simple as that. But right now I'm looking to see if this acts as some type of 9:30 Judah swing. Hold on. Mike just said, UK Mike says, add the 2 charts to the watch list. And then use the up and down keys to switch between ES and NQ. Holy shit. Oh my goodness. Mike, thank you. Now I'm just like playing with it like a little kid right now. Alright, yeah, that actually is a lot easier. Alright, so we're gonna be waiting until 9:50 to 10:10 here. So yeah, look, this right here, this would be one of the scenarios where the rare case where the chasing price entry is playing out. For now. Let me take this away. So yeah, anything past this imbalance, then that kills my interest for any lower prices. For NASDAQ at least. And then these 2 up close candles, that's 1 order block. Euro's looking ugly. So see how we didn't even close near the midpoint of the breaker. So that to me is what I wanted to see. No, I don't want your fucking premium plus ultimate chart setups. Alright, displacement I wanted to see. NASDAQ did take out the highs here, and we're failing to do that on ES, so yes, take a look what just happened here. Now don't screenshot this and be like, oh shit, GK the trader is GK's trading fucking I don't even know if I just did this right. I don't know. I don't do the retail stuff. I know people that make money doing it, but me personally, I would never do it. But I think this is what they would call like a bull flag, and a lot of retail is going long right here. And you see how it just, boom, slice right through that with ease. So I need to see NASDAQ also displace. And we're not getting that, so yet. No, I don't want it. I already told you. I don't want your premium plus pro. Oh, I almost just flipped my other chart the old-fashioned way, but Mike showed me a fancy tool here. So at this point, I wouldn't want to see us go into a new high here at ES, now that we've traded down into here. Five more minutes into that first AM session macro after the 9:30 opening. And if we don't get anything in that time window, then I might just close my laptop and go to sleep. Yes, go to sleep, because I only slept like an hour last night. So I'm looking over at Twitter here. It looks like a lot of guys are getting chopped up here. I don't know why they're forcing entries, but So, you're probably asking why I'm on Twitter right now during the live markets. I like to peek at them and get some type of sentiment. So, I kind of try to fade. I know it kind of sounds arrogant, and I take losing trades too. Someone can fade me and make money. Shit. I don't win every single trade, but my wins are a hell of a lot bigger than my losses. That's for sure, and that's what makes me profitable. Not being right or wrong. So yeah. In summary, I like to peek at Twitter and other things. Okay, it's trying to connect to my AirPods, but I'm not doing that. Okay, my audio should be back. Alright, cool. Plug my laptop in here. It's gonna die on me. There we go. Oh, wait. Is my laptop charger broken now? Guess so. Alright. So glad Mike told me that. I don't even know how I didn't figure this out on my own. Watch midpoint of this 15-minute wick here. And it looks like we did tap the low end of these two up close candles here, so that order block with the imbalance. One more minute till we enter that macro. Alright, so two different scenarios I'm considering right now. Either we get that massive displacement to the downside here and leave the SMT intact, and that would confirm lower prices, or we take the sell stops here, aggressively trade up off of that, and shift into new highs. And then obviously I would be looking at continuation to the upside then at that point if we were to take this high. But boom, there's that displacement I wanted to see. We're in the macro, so we're in an optimal time of day. Remember, at this point here, I wasn't taking the trade because it wasn't an optimal time of day. 9:30 opening. Wrong NQ. Alright, so I want to see NQ follow suit and have a little aggressive displacement. So my eyes are, what they're looking at right now is this 930 low with this small little imbalance below it, with this 9 o'clock low, and then this the 15-minute wick I outlined to you guys multiple times. Alright, so if it dips into this imbalance, I am going to go ahead and get short. We're above that 930 opening displacement. Come on, get up there. I know you want to. If it doesn't give me this, god damn it, here we go with this again. If it doesn't give me this entry here, if it doesn't dip up into there, which it looks like it's not going to, I'll have to wait for, what's it called, a 5-minute entry. It's never a good idea to chase price on the 1-minute time frame. Never. So yeah, I want to see this on the NASDAQ. I would want to see that left open. But ES, I think it would have been better for it to dip up into there. Alright, so we're back below the 930 opening here. S&T stayed intact. Alright, so we're just trading this 5-minute imbalance here, along with this breaker on the 15-minute time frame. So yeah, for NQ, I don't want to see us get up here. I want to see that left open. And if it does get up there, then we'll probably be going into new highs. So yeah, I want to see this left open. I want to see us break this initial 930 opening gap here. Instead of putting another box there, because that'd be too many boxes at this point. I'm gonna go ahead and put some solid lines here. I think I'm still a little off here. There we go. See the respect to that? Inversely so far. Whoops. Okay, there we go. So yeah, it's staying open as I wanted it to. Beautiful. Beautiful. Alright, we're neglecting that 5-minute gap. What I wanted to see. Nice. So now that we just did that and left that in there, got below that 5-minute gap. So yeah, I'm going to stay a little cautious here. Not thinking, I don't really think I want to take an entry here, honestly. I need to, for me to be convinced of the downside, we need a little bit more. I'm not buying it right now. I'm not. My personal model has not performed yet. I'll put it that way. And I'm not gonna force an entry if my model doesn't present. Just because I'm streaming. That's where a lot of streamers go wrong. I've like on my off days I'll watch, like when for instance last week. Last week I was watching streamers while I was traveling and not streaming myself, and it's just like it's so clear that like they think just because they're streaming they need to take an entry, and if that's what you think as a streamer, I mean you're literally missing the point. Trading isn't everyday trading. Obviously there's been so many countless streams here where I've caught nice trades, which that's nice. But there's also bad days where we sit 2.5 to 3 hours and nothing performs. Maybe your model performed, but not mine. So my model's not going to be the same exact as yours. So we just neglected this 1 minute gap. Back below 930 opening. To me, I think we're going to shift into new highs now. So I want to see this act inversely. So yeah, no longer thinking of lower prices. Alright, yeah, I like the respect to that order block as well. So see what happened to those who chased this 930 opening here. See 3 consecutive lows taken out. Look what it did on this 1 minute candle. Opened, wicked down to the low of this inverse gap, and traded higher. Alright, so with everything I'm seeing here, I think it's okay to get long in a premium off of that 5 minute order block. So, alright, there we go. There's that inverse. I'm going to go long on that inverse gap. Oh shit, I got slipped up higher, but that's alright. Technically tried to go long. Alright, we'll just say I went long in the inverse gap, okay? Fuck you guys. No, I'm just kidding. Wait a minute. 4522. Yeah, no. Stop loss is gonna go up here. So longing this inverse gap here. That's what I just did. And then yeah, sell stop's gonna have to go below the order block here. So, or at least the midpoint. Let me get rid of that execution label. Damn, I hate that I got filled up here. It would have been so much more beautiful if I got filled right here. Alright, and then take profit is gonna go right up here. Actually, I think I'm gonna go for mean threshold. Yeah, about 10 handles. Mean threshold of this order block here. So I went long at the inverse gap here, but I'm allowing for it to trade down into this one here. That's what's going on. That was traded too for NQ. Now, if we keep this high intact on NQ and we give up the ghost and we get crazy displacement to the downside and I'm stopped out, then I could see if I can get some type of short setup. But for now, it looks like it wants to shift into new highs, especially on ES. Not pretty, but still, I think may want to come up into here. Let me just take everything off my chart here for a second. So I'm going to keep watching the NASDAQ. If NASDAQ gets too animated lower, then I can go ahead and close the trade early on ES and cut unnecessary loss. So we just dipped into this gap here. So if we lose this imbalance, okay, so boom, we just lost that on NQ, so I can go ahead and close the trade early. Boom. Kept these highs intact as SMT, so now I want to see, what time is it? 10:03, so we're still within the macro. Alright, so boom. Nice displacement on ES. Intermittent term high getting formed here. Oh wait, not NQ1. So I like NASDAQ's market structure better here, so I think I'm gonna consider shorts on the NASDAQ opposed to ES. So yeah. Alright, so boom. I think we're gonna come for the 9:30 low here as well as the 9 o'clock low. That's what I'm looking at. Do we get an entry? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. So there we go. Do we get an entry? That's the question. Come on. Alright, hold on. Now my charts are all over the place. Alright, there we go. Perfect. I'm trying to figure out which one I want to look for an entry in for. I think I'm going to go with ES. Alright, so everything that I said for downside movement, we got that. Just a matter of, do we find an entry or not? And yeah, with this displacement on the 1 minute, it looks like we might have to wait for entry on the 5-minute time frame here. Yeah, that's what it's looking like. Alright, so boom, now it's like getting really animated, just not offering any type of entry to hop on here, so dollar index. So yeah, 930 due to swing played out. Didn't really look like it whenever it came the whole way up here and neglected this gap. And now I'm starting to see it act inversely and come up for this high. Obviously it didn't play out. And that's okay. So we're approaching the sell side that I marked out here, that 9 o'clock low, previous hour's low. We just swept that on NASDAQ, so that was delivered. Just no entry, that's all. That's all we're missing. So, like I said, now that we got below 9 o'clock low, I'm going to have to wait for a 5-minute retracement. If that happens at all. Alright, so I'm watching to see if it gets up to new week opening gap here with this volume imbalance and imbalance. That to me would be something to get short on, actually. Because we still are in a premium, so yeah. It's not chasing price if you're still in a premium. It's only chasing price if you're in a premium. So like this would be an example of chasing price after the 9:30 opening. I was saying real time, rookies are gonna long this, and yeah, they'll be taken out. Shocker. Alright, so I'll go ahead and throw in a short there. Bumps up there one more time. Alright, there we go. Just shorted the new week opening gap low there. As well, I didn't mark it out, but I was looking at it. This inversion gap. I want to see it rush through this one here. And then once it does that, I can get rid of it. And then I'm going to go for about midpoint of the wick here. Alright, there we go. So post 950 to 1010 macro here. There's that sell side delivered that I mentioned. Just look at the beautiful precision at that inverse gap and then the new week opening gap low. Exactly where I want short. Beautiful, beautiful. Preferably I want to see this left open on NASDAQ, but it can retrace up into that. That's what I have the stop loss for, right? Preferably leave that open though. And then I kind of eyeballed it, but yeah, take profit right around the midpoint of the wick here. So that'll be 11.5 handles. That's enough for me. I don't need the whole low. So honestly, this is the type of trade where I would have went multiple contracts like you guys saw me do yesterday. So I actually wish I would have put 2 contracts in there. Even if this trade didn't play out, this would be a trade I'd want to put multiple contracts on because lots of confluences are stacking up here. Alright, I'm going to take this off just for the sake of cleaning up the chart because we already swept it. Now notice my stop is getting trailed. It's the whole way up here for a reason because the first short-term low that forms after displacement, that's always a possibility to be ran out. So I'm allowing for that to take place. So if I did go in with multiple, I wasn't really thinking about it. I kind of just went short. But if I had the 2 contracts on here, partial would be taken right at this civvy low here. This right here, right at the low. So that'd be about 6 handle partial, and then I would hold the runner on for this low here. But with 1 contract, I'm just gonna go for a simple 11.5 handles. Whoops. So yeah, right around midpoint of the wick is where that take profit is. Alright, so partial, hypothetical partial being taken right here for multiple contract users. Alright, so multiple contracts, partial would be taken right here. Alright guys, we have approximately 50 viewers. Can I at least get 40 likes please? I would very much appreciate that. That would allow the algorithm to help me reach more people with my live stream. So I'd appreciate if you guys hit that like button for me. So notice where I went short at. Notice where I shorted. Take the entire daily range. Notice I shorted right up in that premium. And then that first major discount array is right where that take profit is. I think it's likely that we're going to come down and make a new low of the day and sweep this low eventually. But I don't need that for profitability. I'm going for the lower hanging fruit. Check the 5 minute. So this will be a breakaway gap. I was anticipating that to act as a breakaway gap. That's why I went short on the 1 minute time frame. So yeah, like I said while we were trading up here real time, I'm not just saying it just because I'm in profit now. I regret not taking multiple contracts there, because this right here is the trade out. Excuse me. This is the trade. Shit. If I can even talk. This is the picture perfect trade that I would be using multiple contracts for. Now, the money fluctuating up and down, the trades, win or lose, that's not what's important here. What's important here is you watch me try to get long here, go for this high with one contract, and then I got stopped out. Well, I closed the trade early actually, but I wasn't like, oh god damn it. I didn't try to impulsively buy back, or I didn't impulsively, I didn't do anything stupid, okay? I just took the loss. And I don't even know where I was going with that. Alright, important part is just, with good trading, you get to stay calm and keep excitement low. There you go. And you gotta take losses like a champ, because you're gonna be taking a lot of them. Sorry to break it to you. Sorry to break it to you, bud. There will never come a day where you never take losses. I'm sorry. That's just not reality. So once again, midpoint of this wick is what I'm reaching for. We just reached that rejection block here on ES. That could be another partial if we're using multiple contracts. So for NQ, it can come up and take out this short-term high. That to me, that's totally fine. Because they're going to be buy stops first and above there. That to me is okay. Ideally, you want to see ES though smack up into the low end of this inversion gap, and then go for the midpoint of the wick. I'm gonna take this pink shaded area off here. I just don't like all the stuff going on. Yeah, that looks a lot better. So this right here, this is just midpoint of this inefficiency. That's all that is. So it looks like NASDAQ doesn't want to sweep that first short-term high potentially. Oh, wait a minute. I'm on NQ1. Yikes. I want to see it. Ideally respect midpoint of this down close candle as inversion with this gap here. Will you enter with another contract if it gets back up to your entry again? Absolutely not. No. Not doing that. Alright, so I want to see it rush to this inefficiency. I don't want to see it respect it. Alright, so retrace into this 5-minute imbalance here. That could be a short on the 5-minute time frame. Same with Euro USD. You went past it a little bit, but that's fine. Euro USD kind of a mess, but nonetheless, I'd still be targeting these lows here on Euro. But no, I would never. Alright, so look, the short-term high, like I said, I'm okay with it taking that out. I would never have it come back up to my entry and add another contract though. I don't. It's rare for me to pyramid. It happens, but all my contracts are usually put on at the first initial entry. Alright, so now it's just cleared that short-term high, as expected. Keeps going to NQ1. Now it's up into that 5-minute gap. Alright, yeah, so strong reaction after we went into the rejection block here, so yeah, I don't like that. Just gonna close at break even here. So this isn't a loss. It's a break even. Obviously you can see that right here. Exactly to the point. Now the reason I'm doing that is I'm anticipating this short-term high to be taken out, and I want to see if we can get a re-entry off that, or potentially entering a buy program. So yeah, the fact that it's rushing through premium raise like this to me is showing that we may have just capped the run lower, and it's gonna keep this as an intermittent term low. So yeah, not the easiest day here, obviously, but we're still here outlining. So yeah, the logic is we kept this low intact. Intermittent term low, traded into the rejection block. Didn't quite get to the midpoint, which I wanted. A couple points off of our take profit there. And now we're neglecting every premium array. So yeah, just go ahead and zoom out quick, and you can see it's definitely not an ideal day, but intraday we can still find some scalps. Internal range liquidity was all swept here. We're now sitting on the top of this inversion gap. So watch this 1 minute imbalance right here. I think I might want to draw down into that. Same with NASDAQ. Watch this. So potential breakaway gap right here. Or sorry, right here on the 5 minute. Not potential, it is a breakaway gap. Watch watch if it comes down to this order block here. Alright, so watch this imbalance with the order block. And then this inversion gap. Okay, so watch this opening price on this down close candle right here. So boom, you can be using this to target the buy side potentially. I think I'm good though, honestly. Alright, so I'm looking at the dollar index here on my chart. And we just institutional order flowed into a 15-minute for value gap. Failure swing below the midnight opening price. And I want to see if we can get up into that midpoint of that very large 830 wick on the dollar index. And you're probably saying, well, wait a minute, you have the buy side liquidity marked out here on the averages. Yeah, that's because why did I just lose my train of thought? That's because we've been moving in sync. The dollar index and the averages have been moving in sync here on intraday, so alright, so nice respect to that order block there. As well as this inversion gap. Was anticipating this 5 minute to be open. Or yeah, this 5 minute to stay open. So this will be a breakaway gap, measuring gap, buy side liquidity. Alright, so watch this 1 minute gap here. Alright, so obviously I was outlining here on NASDAQ, but which one? Alright, so the first buy limit was hit. Wait. There we go. Actually, no. Alright, so there's a second. There's that buy side being hit. There we go. There's 3 contracts covered, bagged and tagged. 3 contracts. For the it kind of looks small, but for NASDAQ, this would be about 15 handles. So there's that. So keying off this inversion gap. So that, hold on. Let me outline to you what I was looking at here. So boom, we had these imbalances down here. Here's the thing though, that first down close candle was formed in a premium, and we're already close to the buy side. Every single time I see that, I'm taking that, no questions asked. And I want to see the gaps be left open and not traded to. So order block. So we're up. That's going to put me up at about 2% on the day. That was 3 contracts. So, anyways, who gives a shit? Let me outline this. So that first order block was formed in a premium, and we have buy side to get to. Well, like I just said, every single time I see that, I'm taking that order block, and I want to see the inefficiencies opened. Okay. So this will be breakaway gap. And then measuring gap. So whenever those small fractal order blocks are formed in premiums, that's when I anticipate measuring gaps to form after a breakaway gap. So this right here. And we already had this huge down range, and we completely overlapped that. So that should act as a balanced price range. We should just go to the buy side, no hesitation. So I hope that helped. That's all I used for my trade there. We took internal sell stops here below the opening price. We traded to the rejection block, which is just down to all the bodies. Clean those out. Master displacement. We neglected this 5-minute gap. I saw that. Took the trade. 5-minute immediate rebalance. Right where that order block is. Immediate rebalance. That was another thing. And then the buy side. There you go. So that's everything I used for my trade here. Not sure why I'm on NQ1. There we go. So going back, let's not sidetrack. So we took a loss here for about, I forget, I think it was like 3 handles. And then we got this break-even trade right here on ES. NASDAQ, I just quadrupled what I lost and quadrupled that in profits here with 3 contracts. So my pyramid here. So basically I went long in this 1-minute order block here. I already gave you all the logic and narrative to that. And then I pyramided right here with these 2 down close candles. That would be another order block. So propulsion block actually. And then just exiting right here. So I think that's everything that I wanted to say. I think I may be able to grant myself some sleep here. I only slept 1 hour last night. This was a OTE entry for longs. Yeah, I guess you're right. Although I would be lying if I said I anticipated longs down here. I was not anticipating longs. I wanted to see if we can get down to midpoint of this wick. But yeah, you're right. Actually, this actually isn't optimal trade entry, because it's what makes an optimal trade entry is time of day and actually no, I'm lying, because it is the 10 o'clock hour. So all right, yeah, we'll call it an optimal trade entry. It's not a pretty optimal trade entry, that's for sure. But anyway, I'm satisfied for the day. 3 contracts. Honestly, me showing you this trade and all the profits, this is the least important part of the live stream. The most important part is you guys sitting with me and seeing my real-time analysis, my emotions, how I'm conducting myself as someone who is absolutely profitable. In case you guys missed it, my next payout, I will be posting that online, not for validation or clout. I don't give a fuck about any of that. If that's what you're here for, then you shouldn't even be here. And yeah, that's that. So next payout, I will be giving 50% of the proceeds to one of my winners of both tier 1 and tier 2 members here on YouTube. I'm just like I did before a month ago, I'm just gonna shuffle through all the names. Whoever gets selected will be receiving a good chunk of money there. So stay tuned for that. That'll be at the end of September, by the way. The very end of September. And yeah, Duke, you're absolutely right. Today wasn't the easiest day. It was tough. But all in all, we persevered here. Here's that 5-handle loss there. Here's that break-even trade. So those who would just come into the live stream, they would see this and be like, oh shit, you got a nice little 15-handle trade here on NASDAQ with 3 contracts. But in reality, I took a 5-handle loss and a break-even trade here. But I mean, that's just one contract, 5 handle. So I mean, that's really nothing. But you get the point. So I think that's enough talking. Please hit that like button if you guys got any insights, or you just I don't know, you learned anything. I'm gonna be back live streaming. Why do I forget my own schedule? Come on, what am I doing? What am I doing? What is my schedule? Okay, so we have retail red folder retail sales red folder news at 8:30. So live stream begins tomorrow at 8:20 a.m. So hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow.